Happy Monday, everybody. This is your favorite crypto trading show, Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros. And, we had some nice movement to the downside over the weekend. We do have some CME news, and we do have some information on Friday close and where those CME gaps are. We do have a big offset on the liquidation charts as well. So we'll get all into that here momentarily. But first of all, B. Wellington, how are you this morning?
Oh man, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. So your indicators are wrong. Hey, man, where did that come from? I like the title, but I need to know the
Well, I
story.
mean, look, everybody's indicators wrong, or they're just reading them incorrectly, right? Because we've got a lot of folks, I think that are anticipating some further move to the downside, and I think it's this is somewhat of a trap. I mean, first we had the what we would call the bear market rally or the bull trap, right? That moved all the way back up. Everybody was anticipating this, right? Everybody's also short, and they probably held on to some of those shorts. We got to the top here. We're on the daily, so we'll just hop right in the charts. But if we're looking at this 200 EMA on the daily, right? We've just come back down. We're testing the 50 on the daily as well. This could very easily move back up and
Hey, man,
reset this area.
I'm not seeing.
You're not seeing my
I see your screen, but I'm not seeing what you're doing today.
uh,
You're on the one
well,
hour.
I'm on. Oh, well, then it's not updating because I just moved to the daily.
Okay,
But
there we
anyway,
go. There we go. We got it now. We're
okay.
good. We're good.
So we're just holding here at this level. So as you can see, we have this kind of this area here that's been marked off. This is on the daily. So this is we're at a major area of support because we came up, retraced, came back through it with a little bit of volume, retested here, came back up. Now we're doing a retest in this area. And so it would be very likely for everyone to say, oh, yeah, well, it should move all the way back and down to this area and take out these zones as well, which I think is what everybody is anticipating based upon the information that I'm seeing, which would tell me that we'll probably range down into this area and then move back up and retest this area. And then we see whether or not we have breakouts, from this end. So longs or shorts have been getting paid. Longs have been getting punished on this deal. And eventually they're going to stop paying shorts, start paying longs. And I anticipate that that'll be fairly soon, even as much as this week. If you look at some of the volume profile on the side here, we're coming back through this area. We should really start to move back into this area and up through this zone. So that is the bear market guy telling you about how I think that we're going to have another pump here
Woo!
and probably retest this area and see if we break through on that area. Who knows at this point, because we're getting a lot of mixed news that's coming in. So the tone is starting to move from bearish to a little, I wouldn't say bullish, but at least neutral relative to the economy. And so to me, that's an indication that we'll kind of move back into those areas. So, look for that in the longer time frame. If you look at the hourly, looks like we have a W forming, which it could be what we would consider just a swing pattern failure. So if it comes back into this area and moves back up with some velocity, then that just tells me that they're going to leave these shorts here trapped. They've probably trapped a little bit more on this end. We're at last week's low. So any movement to the downside with any type of abrupt movement back to the upside would be a little bit trappy on the short side and start punishing those guys from going late or from late shorts. We've got somewhat of a cross that was starting to develop here.
We have a CME gap from Friday close at 1701, which would put us right up there to probably about the time that those EMAs are going to consider crossing each other.
Right. So we got yesterday's high up in this area too. So
But
you're exactly correct, and
but
this would
here's
also
the
be that
here's the
area.
telltale sign about all of it, big guy, is
Oh, I
1260
got a big guy.
1262. is another CME gap that hasn't closed. So
Well,
so that being said, I think there might be a really high probability that we do go back up to that 1700 area, touch that
and then
800,
crash on down.
and then just jump off the cliff, dude, and have a a short week. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. So I can see, let's talk about, we kind of talked about indicators are wrong. The only indicator that you need in the market is kind of to understand the psychology of the market. And one way is going to get paid for a little bit of time. Then the other way is going to get paid for a little bit of time, meaning shorts and longs. And so, shorts have been getting paid, since this, we touched all the way up to that, almost 2000, or we hit 2000. So we've had, almost, $400 or $500 worth of, quote unquote drawdown. So those shorts have been, eating this up. And when you start seeing these patterns where they start moving back up and then coming back down with some of these violent vectors, all that indicates to me is that they're trying to get more shorts on boards, the guys that are late, that missed the initial move, and they're going to start pulling those guys back. And eventually, uh, when they have enough of those guys trapped, they're going to move this up to the upside. And so when you see this pattern of this W, that's a trap, come back again, the trap, move that back to the upside, and so to take those guys out. So we got daily open up here as well. Yesterday's high, and then as Clutch mentioned, that CME gap is right there, uh, and so that's going to be a big indication that we come back up. If you look at just other things, I mean, this is a 14-minute. All the charts really, to me, are going to say the same thing. I mean, we're back at last week's low, and so just expect that we get a lot of volatility around this area because you've got a lot of folks that closed out, this low, within this area right here. So just expect some volatility there. But just to touch on a couple other things, I mean, look at this thing, the dollar. We look at the dollar overall. I mean, the dollar is skyrocketing. You see that? And so that's going to be an indication of a rotation over and back in the cash, to a certain extent. If this continues on this velocity, we'll overall macro will come back down. So the plan of moving back up in order to take out some of these shorts to move back down would be consistent with the dollar continuing to move up from a rotational standpoint. And therefore, in order to clear some room to come back down, they're going to need to come back up. Otherwise, those shorts are really going to get paid, and that's not really in the business model of the market. So I would just take a look at those things in particular. Some of the other things we look at is the Binance chart as far as the OI is concerned. So OI has been moving up pretty steadily. If we look at this on a larger time frame, as you can see, OI has been moving up. So as we had this move to the downside, OI really wasn't impacted too much, which means that you did have a lot of shorts that were on board and getting paid. You've got the spot CVD that's starting to decline. And then you've also got stablecoin CVD as well as future coin margin CVD. I would tell you that the decline in this CVD is probably based on the fact that you had a lot of coin margin contracts that go long. A lot of your stable margin contracts go short. Therefore, this is pretty consistent. And then spots really driving the market because of the lack of OI that's out there, or the lack of prominent OI that's out there. If we look at things like funding rate, which again is just a sentiment indicator for us, you've got a lot, and as you can see, you've got a lot of this USDT margin, as we talked about, short, right? And then you've got more positive on the coin margin side. So that's very indicative to the CVD that we have out there. If we look at the stock market, it's about to open. We have had the futures to the downside on the open, 351 on the Dow, 50, 189 on the Nasdaq's really starting to hit hard, relative to the macro scene. So we may get a little bit of a bounce at the open based upon the fact that we've had such a negative move coming into the weekend, or not coming into the weekend, but leaving the weekend. We might get a little bit of a pull up to move back up to kind of clear some space. But overall, again, with the performance of the dollar, it looks like things may start to be coming down again. This week, as far as information is concerned, we got Chicago Fed National Activity Index today. This came out at 0.27, which would be positive. Any type of economic increase is a positive. This just says national activity is starting to increase. We've got S&P PMI, durable goods. I would say that the number that the day that we're really looking at is going to be Friday. As you can see, we have a lot of consumer, PCE, the producer consumer expenditures that are coming out, price consumer expenditures coming out, nominal personal income. We've got Jerome Powell making a statement. So not a whole lot of news going on. I mean, GDP revisions, as far as initial job claims, I would think that Friday's probably going to be a very big day news wise, but, just something to pay attention to. But there we are. I mean, that's all I got on my end. Clutch, what's going on in your area?
Well, let's see. Let me know when you can see High Block Capital here.
Oh, I can see it.
Okay, cool. So this High Block Capital, as you can see, we have 2,988 short liquidations right now with only 512. The delta right now, guys, is negative $26 billion. Holy shit. Hey, look, so, dude, man, what's been really cool about these last couple of weeks is the deltas, the money flow, the upside, the downside. Hey, guys, we're really starting to get into a lot of price action here, which is really exciting. So do expect, I definitely expect that we're going to get a nice reversal and start moving up here in the near future, today, tomorrow. And again, my target is going to be up there at that 1700, and then we're going to, kind of sit back and see what happens when we get there, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to range back up to the 1700 area, maybe go a little bit higher than that, and then we're going to be looking for that CME down in the $1,200 range. If we take a look at Bookmap and see what Bookmap looks like, let me know when you can see Bookmap.
I can see Bookmap now.
Okay, cool. So I reset it a while ago because we just had so much data. So as you can see right now, we're looking like we're going down to this 1545 area to kind of retest that low, and then as you can see, we're heavy on the downside right now. So they're wanting to go there to pick up some orders. We do have the VWAP right above us. It's 1575, and if we scroll out to take a picture on what the big scale looks like, you can see here. Oh man, look at this. It looks like they just pulled some long-term liquidity from the upside, and now we got everything down 15 and 1400. So there is a possibility that they do keep moving down now to just get more people on board. So do be cautious on your trading today. If we break below, looks like this 1545 area, let me zoom back in here now. I would definitely be cautious, and 1540. Like we want to make sure we see a bounce here. If we start breaking below that, then they may be doing some continuation downside. So if you are any longs at that point, you may be cautious about staying in that, and maybe even looking for a short down to at least 1500, because there's a lot of orders there. But however, it does look like there are a lot of orders here, and they may just be, holding us support here. So it's kind of anyone's game at this moment. But again, below 1540, maybe expect some prices to the downside. However, if this holds, I definitely see us that we could be getting a bounce, retest the VWAP up here at 1580, and then even maybe higher. So that's all I got for today, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until next time,
Till next time.
AMF.
Adios, motherfuckers.